Right when I opened my Bible, kind of put my eyes here when I'm about to read today. If you all got your Bibles, turn with me to John chapter 4, verse 9. Reads like this: And saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink with me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. If you all could reach your hand over today, we'll pray over the word today.
Remainder of this service, deal with our hearts, God, convict us, Lord, do what only you can do today. God, I say give you all the praise and all the glory. Your lovely name.
The church said, Amen. Goes on to say, The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof, himself and his children and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto him, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly. The woman said unto him, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our father worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem this is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in the mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye not, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. We go on down to say, we'll go ahead and just finish up with a few verses here. The woman said unto him, I know that the Messiah cometh, which is called Christ, and he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. And unto this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou, or why talkest thou with her? This is where I want to focus on today. This is where I get my title at. And the woman that left her water pot and went her way to the city and saith to the men. We'll stop there, might read a little bit more, but I want to preach on the title today on Leave the Pot. Leave. I'm not trying to make something spiritual. It's just a simple detail in the Bible. But we read today that she went to the well to get something to drink for her physical body. Maybe a bigger pot to take it to other people so they can draw from that vessel to just satisfy their thirst for a little bit. When Jesus was here talking with the woman at the well, he was simply telling her that there was a well you can drink of to where it won't quench just the physical body, but he was talking of the spiritual. He was talking of your soul tonight. Jesus was here at the well and told her all the things that she had done. And one thing that caught my attention, Brother Joey, the woman as we read today, after being told everything that she had done, it said she left her water pot. One thing that my mind went to today, Brother Joey, that after she perceived that the Lord was a prophet and she's perceived all these things, and Sister Shirley, there was something on the inside that sparked an interest, and then she believed. For the fact that the Lord met her on a personal level with her, told her the secrets of her life, and told her how many husbands she had. And Sister Shirley, as she left, and no doubt in amazement and in all of awe, if you could, she left the thing that she wanted to quench that physical thirst, left it all behind, and went out to tell the men of Samaria about this man. Said, come see a man that told me everything that I ever did wrong. I want to talk to you today on leave the pot behind. Brother Joey, leave the pot behind. As we know, there's things in the world that will satisfy our wants and our desires. There's things out in the world that will satisfy your physical thirst for a little while. I thought as a man gets thirsty, he wants things. There's some things I drink a lot of pop and sweet tea, mostly sweet tea. But there's some days that I want just a cold glass of water because the tea ain't sounding good to me. The pop ain't sounding good to me, but I want something that I know will quench my thirst. I want something that I know, Brother Joey, that will satisfy my desire at that moment. But I'm going to tell you today, what I'm talking about today is not the other water that will satisfy your physical body. But Brother Joey, the water that I'm talking about, the Lord will give it. And He freely gives it to the ones that are thirsty. I read in the Bible, when I feel my help today, I read in the Bible, Sister Rachel in the Bible said, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, and they shall be filled. You know, there's a part in that say that if you're thirsty tonight over something that you don't want temporal, but you want everlasting water that will satisfy that physical, that natural, spiritual thirst tonight. Brother Joey, I thought tonight you can have it freely, but you take something on your end to want it. I thought as the physical body, Brother Joey, we crave the thirst in that physical body. We find that Jesus, before He talked with the woman of Samaria, that He was weary and tired. And Brother Joey, that's what sparked the conversation to say, would you draw me up some water that I may quench my physical thirst? And that woman said, you have nothing to draw with. But what He was saying later, He said, if you only knew that who asked of you that you would give me of this water, but I'm not only am I able, Brother Joey, to satisfy your thirst, I can have something to well inside of you that Brother Joey, that will spring living water. Forgive me today, my mind is everywhere, but I want to obey the Lord tonight. As we know in the world, when a sinner man, when he walks among the world,
You're preaching good.
Oh God, if I could run some cross references today, as we read in verse 11, the woman said to him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with. The well is deep. From whence where is thou that living water? We turn to Revelation 20, I'm going to do 22. In my bookmark, in 22 and 17, it said, in the spirit and the bride, say, come. It say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take of the water of life freely. Understand today, this ain't something you ain't gotta put a certain amount of money in an offering pan. But he said it's free if you want it. He said, this thing that I've got, I'm not going to force it on you. I'm not going to make you, I'm not going to put you in a predicament, Brother Joe, that force this down your neck. But he said it's free if you want it. I've never seen, I thought today that I work at the Pepsi plant. I get all the pop that I want off these parcels that we bring in. And anytime that I want, when I get what I want, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, or Dr. Pepper, whatever I want out of the fridge, I can have it freely because my workplace provides that. Brother Joey, but then I'm going back to the fridge again to get something, to get another thirst again. But what the Lord just said here, brother, in the Revelation that I wrote, he said, them that are in thirst, let them come and drink freely. You ain't gotta, Brother Joey, go through life and keep giving and giving and giving just to give yourself, to give that temporal peace, to give that thing that's going to satisfy you just for a moment. But we can come. I find myself when I fall, Sister Sharon, I gotta go back to the well of grace where the water flows. When I fall short, I gotta go back and say, Lord, fill me again. Now we understand that this woman, Sister Leah, she left something behind. It was a vessel, Brother Joey, to take that natural water and take it back to either herself or her household or whoever it was. But Brother Joey, what I know is that God made us a vessel. He made us a thing that needs to be filled. He made us a thing that needs to have some fullness to it, Brother Joey. It's living water that will flow from your belly. That when you come in contact with somebody, the water that dwells in you, Brother Joey was so them. I ain't gotta go in this world and find my peace. I ain't gotta go in this world and thirst after the things that will desire my desires. But I can go to the Lord. Brother Joey, he'll supply my every need. He said, I'll give your heart's desire. Whatever you want, I'm able to give it tonight. I ain't never seen a time that we're in today where believers are now living a lie of the world that say we got more to offer. I've never seen a time that we're in tonight where believers are now mixing away in the world to feel they're satisfying other desires. I've never seen it. And now we're in a dark time where the believers, they believe the world and God's more to offer. I want to tell you tonight, go where you want to find that temporal peace. Go where you want to find some hope and some joy. At the end of the day, it's going to leave you empty with no hope at all. Why do you say that? You keep going back to the tender physical water. You keep going back to get that temporal peace. You keep going back and giving your money.
Come on.
God help me. But what I'm telling you tonight, you can get so close to God. Lord, I need help. He'll give you help. God, I need peace. He'll give you peace. He's everything that you need.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I thought, Brother Joy, in my time, the worst of serving the Lord, I thought I failed a lot. I'll tell that story on myself. I thought, Sister, everybody knows it. I thought there's time my anger gets the best of me and my house bears the stars. I thought sometimes that my baby girl gets to crying. If daddy gets upset and real mad and it breaks my heart, I fall fall short. But I find myself not running from the Lord. But there's something in me that makes you want to run back to Him.
Yes. Come on now. Run to Him.
There's something in me, Sister Lynn, when I fall short, I say, Lord, give me a drink again.
Yeah.
Find out in the Bible that it's I'm a believer, but Brother Joe, to walk in the Spirit. And sometimes we know this flesh rises up and we got the works of the flesh. And we got more of the works of the flesh than we do the fruits of the Spirit. And it's important as a believer that you're walking in the Spirit, because that flesh is able to rise up at a blink of an eye and a snap of a finger if you're not careful. And I thought that sometimes I fall short and I fall up to the flesh sometimes. And I find myself when I don't find, I don't know how I was going to talk the way that I believe it. But the joy that I found myself when I was falling short, that I had to hide behind my wife's back. And I'd go find me some kind of dip somewhere, or I'd find me a pack of cigarettes somewhere to give me that nicotine buzz. Sister Rachel, just to give me an ease of mind. And then I find myself being a dummy, and I got myself hooked on that stuff to where that when I get stressed out, that's the only thing I taste is the wintergreen in my mouth. It said go back and go back. I know what I'm talking about. It said go back to that thing that'll hold you down. Go back to that thing. You know why? It's a temporal peace. But I find myself crying because I got addicted to that stuff. I find myself in a mess, and my mind in a turmoil, and when my baby talks, because I'm so stressed out. Sometimes I'm sharp with my words. I thought Sister Rachel, my wife, she knew where my sign was. She said, where you at? I said, I went for a walk. She said, are you really? I'm like, yeah, I'll be home. God help me. I said, I'll be home in a minute. Just for conviction that hit me going down the road, and I had to take that thing that I bought, waste my money on, throw it in a ditch line somewhere. I thought that when I ran the cigarettes, I thought I'd be all right and neat to smoke me one real quick, and conviction hit my heart. And I had to throw the whole thing away in the trash. Temporal peace. That's the only thing really I did to dabble in. But no, there's people, they did go dabble in drinking and drugs and whatever else to find them some comfort. To find some comfort. Just for you to wake up after it's all over. Just to find yourself going back to the thing that loved you. Come on. Just to go back. Come on. Because now there is a desire that needs to be fueled. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. Now there's a thing in your heart that said, I need a feeling. And you know the only way you'll be the quick fix is the things that set aside this place. I won't talk to him. I'm going to run some more references. I won't today. I just want to just talk, get out of the way tonight. He said, come, drink up this water. Come. The man that is thirsty, if you're thirsty tonight, come. I can talk to the believers where I've been in a bunch of church people that had the look just right. And I couldn't tell who I was talking to. I've been amongst people, Brother Joe had big wigs and prophets, and just for them to go back outside the door and go back to the same old hog pen. Come on. And I never knew who I'd be talking to. It ain't my job to look at you outside. It ain't my business at all. But I know what the Lord spoke to me just 10 minutes before we left the house. Come on. We was like getting here. Before I left the house, the Lord said, I said, oh, I need a word. And He gave me John chapter 4. I opened the book and He gave me that woman's story. Come on. I'll leave the pot behind. Leave that thing that ain't doing nothing but satisfying you for a moment behind. And come, drink freely of what I got. I thought when I tried one time to backslide. I tried one time with a Kendall to try to backslide one time. I thought Sister Charlene, I was at the house after my mom and daddy divorced, and after things hit the fan, I was done. Rocks come out under me. My support system was gone. If I talked to daddy or mommy, it was one or the other talking to me about their issue and who hates the most and whatever else, and I was struggling. I was struggling, Sister Ann. And I thought, Sister Rachel, that my wife, I never cussed at my wife, didn't put my hands on my wife. I thought when I come in, because work made me so mad, come in crying. Thought, Sister Ann, I come in so tore up that from where my apartment was, you come in the front door, living room, dining room, kitchen, go up to the bedroom. I thought from the area that I walked in the door, whatever was closest to me, I broke it. Grabbed me some kitchen chairs and I flung it just to go back to the back room and wreck my room after she jumped clean. She come in, why are you doing this? Pregnant with my baby. I said, I'm sick of this. And I made it all her fault in that time. She told me before, not to make light, she told me before after I wrecked the room, she said, you're cleaning all this up. And I said, all right, I got mad, threw it all in the closet. I'll clean it real quick, throw it all in the closet. And then later I come to my senses and cleaned up the mess I made because she made me. But I thought that when I was backsliding, I told her my friends at work, the ones I witnessed to, the ones I almost had coming. So me messed up. Come on. I got so tore up at work. We was on the line and my boss started nitpicking me. On me. I was working hard. I can vouch because at every other time he tell me, man, you're working good. Just keep on doing what you're doing. The next day I ain't doing nothing. And I'm doing the same thing I did the day before. Picking and poking it. Finally I had enough. Didn't care who was around. Made up my mind on that line. I'm done with it all. Next man disrespects me, it's on. Well, he come back at me and poked at me again, Sister Lena. And I thought, they said, why is he doing that? And out of the spur of the moment, my mouth had too much walking and I was ready for it. I cussed that man in front of my people that I witnessed to. They looked at me, their mouth dropped. Their eyes in the gaze of what just happened. Come on. After that, my boss pulled me aside. He started talking to me. I cussed him on one side, down the other, just to go to the plant manager and do it all over again about it. I'm telling you my faults. Come on. When I come home that day, that's when I wrecked the home. But in that period of time, I had the temptations all around me to do whatever I wanted to do if I just said the word. Buddies come up to me because if I was trying to be, lead them to Christ, they do that. They had a new guy come on and he heard that. He said, I'll give you $100 if you just go with me to the club. I'll buy whatever you want. I said, boys, I can't do that. I got a wife at the house. Come on, I'll give you $100. I'll give you some more. I'll do whatever you want to do. If you do. And then I had a buddy that was drinking. He drank all the time. He said, I get these samples all the time. And if you want some, just meet me at my truck. I'll give you some. Thought Sister Serena, I said, boys, I can't do that. I'm a Christian. This is before I cussed and carried on and acted a fool. This is that period. I told the story backwards. Then I finally got sick of it, told my wife, I said, they keep offering me things at work. And I believe they asked me again, I'll just take it. Tears welled up in her eyes. She said, why would you do that? She prayed with my baby now. I said, I'm sick of this. I can't handle this no more. She said, why? And I didn't know this. When I leave work, she'd go crying, begging God to protect me. to stand for myself. Now help me pray for me. And I can tell you, I ain't never touched a drop of alcohol ever in my life. But there's times I've smelled it before. There's times temptation's at my door. And it's almost as if I've drank some. I can taste what I speak. Because temptation is at my door. Lord, just here recently I can wake up with the taste of the Spirit on my breath. And I spoke once, and that was probably a few years ago. I can wake up and still taste the wintergreen in my mouth. And I ain't put a dip in a while. I said a while, but a long time ago. Come on. The devil knows what he needs to do to get you lured back. But then when he lures you back, he sticks an extra hook in you to where he can't let you go.
That's right.
Now you're incapable of breaking free. You're incapable. But I just told you about it. That did it for me. When I was trying my best, I'm talking about a man that loved me despite my failures and my mistakes. My experience, Brother Joe, I'm going to get out of the way a minute. Sister, and my experience was I've been by myself before all this took place. I cried out to God and He met me in my room.
Come on.
I cried out to God, and so and I feel like I reached a deepness with Him. And I heard an old familiar sound, my daddy. I hear my daddy praying. He could talk all in the Lord, and that's all that could come out, bones and some bones.
Come on.
I thought I got so lost one time, I began to sing in the Holy Ghost. Come on.
Yeah, in the name.
That's what I heard my daddy. I began to just smell my face. And the Holy Ghost. Then I found myself in the lowest places. And I had to ask myself, how did I do this? Just to find out after my mistakes and my complacency and my running around and backsliding, if you want to call it, just to go back to it. I thought I'm going to tell another big story on myself. We got a little time. God went down to Kentucky. Brother Joy, I had so much hate and bitterness to everything that happened. And I thought, Sister Charlene, that I had so much hate and bitterness in me, I almost got so much like demon possessed. I thought that I had to go home. We prayed, and I broke free from the bitterness and the hate. I thought, Brother Joy, that back home, it ended up being the same way it was up here when I get mad. Tear my house apart from the front door all the way to the back if I could. And I thought that when I get so mad and bitter with people and I wreck my home, I thought my baby was only 3 months old. 2 months old, 3 months old. Because I was hollering and yelling so loud. She could have pulled at her ears and hiding at Mommy's neck because Daddy was scaring her. Didn't have a care in the world. Just to finally come to my senses and realize I was heading to a devil's hell. Everything I was raised on, all the experiences I had, all the times I talked with God and He taught that. All the times I've been able to dance across the floor. Times I've just cried, and sometimes I've got to see into the Spirit. For it all to be faded away if I died. Thought we prayed at the house, and I begged God, Lord, don't let me die. God, don't let me die lost. Just for the Lord, I made up my mind I'm not getting up until it's gone. No, it's just when I lay there, I cried, and I cried till heaven opened. It wasn't long, and all these sound I ain't heard in months.
Come on now.
Feel love. That good little song in the spirit come out. Can I tell you it hasn't been easy since then? No. But I know one thing, it's always been much better with the Lord. Can I tell you that you won't go and feel some loneliness sometimes? No. But I know at the time of loneliness, when I call on His name, He makes Himself known. Can I tell you that you won't face with some type of oppression or depression? No. But I know when I'm oppressed and I've got the pressure of life on me, I can say Jesus. And I feel the burden lift.
Come on now.
I can't tell you that you won't cry yourself to sleep. But I can promise one thing, if you cried yourself to sleep, right while you was laying down, His hand right beside your face, they say, I've caught every tear. I can't tell you won't go through the valley sometimes by yourself. But I can tell you, He said, I'll always be with you. This living water that I'm talking about, this thing, Sister Lynn, you found that. For people to be at home, to want to stay in the bed and never get up, just want to die, to find some hope in this. To find Jesus, to say, I'll give you, if you're thirsty, water freely. Anytime you want it. It's right here.
That's right.
Anytime that you need it, it's right here. So I'm going to get out the way today. Thought I'd run some more references. I'm going to do that today. I feel like I'm going to obey the Lord. I want to ask you today, friend, what's you thirsting for? I could ask you today, how's life treating you today? And the answer would be, not good. Heard a preacher tell you one time, he said, when people ask me how the world's treating me, he said, I'll tell them the world's treating me nasty. He said, but the Lord has always treated me good. Yeah. If you went back through your life today and watched where you came from and to where you are now, we know the Lord in some way in our life has directed our footsteps through the bad, guided us through the turmoil, through the chaotic, shifted us to get out of it so it wouldn't be as bad, to lead us to where we are today. The Lord did that for us. I want to ask you today, friend, what are you thirsting for? And I like the Bible said in Revelation, come. That's an open invitation. Anytime you want it. It's an open invitation all the way to your last breath. It's an open invitation. I'll say this. Not to add some level of fear. Not to add a fear tactic. If we are not right, we need to get back. If we're running, we need to go back to Him. Go to backside. My mom, to be exact. She probably wouldn't mind me saying this, but it's the facts of life. I told her on the text pad, I said, Mama, I said, I don't want to have to walk past the casket. And grandbabies ask me, did she make it? And I'm left with to have to answer them, I don't know. I said, Mama, all your family before you that have died, that were once sinners, but right before they lived. And I said, said, but it's an odd thing to me that now you're running in the opposite direction where family is. I know the main purpose is to get to Jesus. I understand that with everything in me. If my mom and dad don't go, I gotta go. My wife just has to quit. I still have to go. If my babies look at me one day because they're of age and say, Daddy, I don't believe like you, I gotta go. This is for me. I told my mom, though, I said, Mommy, and she texted me back, she said, I didn't need all that. Made her think. I'm going to ask all the believers and everybody in this room to check your heart before we pray. I know you don't think I'm just carrying this thing out here what I'm doing. I really want you to check your heart this weekend. It's been a soul-searching moment. What are those secret things? If you're running, I feel it all service long, pull, tugging. I go back here and say, come. Come. I've heard him talk to me. When I start running away, come. When I start wanting to quit, come. If you all could today,